What's up, Huckers? Big Country here for Beginners Week. And I'm going to give you a couple little drills that are going to help you with your putting. It's helped me dramatically, it's helped tons of players over the years, and all you need is a stack of putters and a stack of minis. Minis are cheap, they're plentiful, they're easy to get. You can get them from your local shop, or you can message us on the Hucking Aces Facebook page and we can get you some. Putters, I like to get a lot of factory seconds. I get mine from Infinite Discs, but you can get them directly from Innova, Discraft, whoever your manufacturer of choice is. I use Big Beat AVRs, so I've got a whole stack of Big Beat AVRs, all between 172 and 175 in varying different plastics, and that's what I practice with. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to want to do in this particular putting drill is pace out an area where you're comfortable with making 100% of your putts. I go about right here. It may seem short, but even in the wind, I know I can make 100% of my putts from right here. So I'm going to go ahead and stick down a mini. I'm going to turn around from that mini, and I'm just going to take 4 steps. I'll put down another mini. Then I'm going to take 3 steps. Put down another mini. Then I'm going to take 2. Put down another mini, and lastly 1. At this point, I'm quite a bit of ways away from the basket. So we'll go back up here to where our first mini is. And the point of this drill is to make 100% of your putts from where the mini is. If I make 100% of my putts, my entire stack, from this point, I'll move that to the next mini. The important thing to do in this drill is putt just like you would during a tournament or during a casual round. I don't normally putt with a stack of putters in my hand, so I put them back down there. And I set up just like it would on a tournament putt. Nice spin putt. You go collect your discs and move on to the next mini. And here's where it starts to get tricky, because now you're farther away. Now I take those ones that I missed and I go back up to my first mini and shoot from there. You get the point. Basically, you could spend a good 45 minutes out here just banging away putts, and before you know it, you're making putts all the way from back here, your entire stack. This next putting drill is something that I devised. It's a lot less popular than the one I just showed you. And this one is something that's called stress putting. As most of you know, Team Hucking Aces were primarily made up of military veterans. And one thing we like to do is we strive to have realistic training. And part of that is putting stress on your body and putting stress on your mind. And nothing's more stressful in a tournament than having to make that big putt. So what we've done is we've set up minis all the way around our practice basket here at a pretty reasonable distance. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go in order. And I'm going to drop down, do 5 push-ups, pop up, sink the putt, run to the next mini, 5 push-ups, sink the putt until I've gone all the way around and I finally made it with my trusty DX Big Beat AVR. Let's see if I can accomplish an entire around the world here for the cameras. Let's do it. Our first putting drill is something that's very common. A lot of people use it. The stress putting, not so common, but it's one of the things I like to end a good putting session with. And keep in mind, you don't have to have your own basket like I do. It's a great investment. This is an end of a skill shot, running about 150 to 170 bucks. Definitely worth it if you want to improve your game. But you can do all these putting drills at your local course, especially if they have a warm-up basket. If they don't, just wait until a time when there's not that many people there, or maybe after your round, and concentrate a couple minutes on putting. But as I said, after a good putting practice, I like to close it with stress putting. If I'm not doing stress putting, then I'm going to want to work on my long range putts. That's what we have here. We've set up our minis in a ring around the basket. Now this is an area that I want to land my long range putts in. So I've gone out here well past the circle. I'm at about 35 feet here, and I've got all my putters. I'm going to take my first putter, which is a JK Pro AVR from the Hucking Aces Challenge in Libby, Montana. Great tournament if you're ever up that way. I'm going to lay it down right here. And all I'm going to practice on is trying to get my jump putts in the basket, and if they don't go in the basket, at least in the circle of the minis. I also like to practice a couple different types of jump putts when I'm doing this. My preferred method is what I call the Feldberg method. Remember, when you're jump putting, the disc has to be out of your hand before you cross your lie. That's where a lot of people get it wrong. And the easiest way to do that, or to alleviate that from happening, is with the Feldberg approach, which I'll show you right here. All you're gonna do is walk up to your lie, and as you're moving, you throw your putt using your body's momentum to gain you extra distance. It's a foolproof way to prevent yourself from jumping past your lie before the disc is out of your hand. But sometimes in a tournament situation, you really want to run that putt, and there's some debris, maybe a bush in your way, and you just can't do a Feldberg putt. That's where you've got to go with a more traditional jump putt. So I like to practice those as well. As you can see, both of those have landed outside of my ring of minis, so I need to dial it in a little more. Because where I've landed those discs, those aren't gimme putts. Within that ring of minis, you can't miss. And that's where we want to be every time on a long range putt. Last but not least, we use our marker disc. And that's it for our putting drills. Practice some of these on your own, at your course, or at home, and I guarantee your putting will improve. Now get out there and huck some discs.